Hello and welcome to today's European SharePoint and Office 365 Community webinar. My name is Shane and I am delighted to be joined by Usama Wahab Khan, who will be talking to you about Power Apps and SharePoint Deep Dive. Remember to join in the conversation about today's webinar on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @EuropeanSP and our hashtag is ESPC16. Also, attend any webinar in September and your name will be entered into a draw to win a 3-day ticket to the European SharePoint Conference in Vienna, Austria. After the webinar, we will have a questions and answers session. Type any question you have for Usama in the questions window. Some questions will be selected and answered at the end of the presentation. This webinar is being recorded and you will be notified by email when it is available. And now I'm going to pass you over to our webinar presenter, Usama Wahab Khan. Hello, Usama.
Hello everyone, myself Usama Wahab Khan. I'm Microsoft Most Valuable Professional and Microsoft Certified Trainer. Currently working as a Senior Vice President Technology and Acting CTO at Evolution Plus Technologies. Microsoft announced Power App last year, and it was first we explored it in an MVP Summit, and then they publicly announced this thing in a MIA event, and it's a SaaS service, so they are daily basis on a monthly basis they are announcing new features and new capabilities that are adding up in the Power App. So it is available for across platforms, so you can design an app on your studio, but it will be available on an Android and iPhone. In strategy to influence your customers and interact all their existing applications on one single platform. A concept of Power App is connect all type of data, all type of data services, all type of business systems, and create a new app, the new experience, and share on your mobile, tablet, and desktop devices in your organization, and on all of the control, all control. You can have all complete control across your app, and this app can be designed by using Power App by the power user. You don't need developers, you don't need the very advanced IT pros to create apps with the Power Apps. So the concept is this, that the business app with the easy virtual tools and a powerful cloud service combined together and share with your teams and across devices. And then Microsoft makes sure that they're available to all data sets and allow developers and ISVs to put your custom APIs to connect with the Power Apps. We're going to talk about it later on. Here's some examples, and there's some preview in the previous stage that Microsoft introduced the Power Apps. So you can see that they have a different layouts. So you can start with Power Apps by using their samples and just starting customizing that from some standpoint, and also you can create from scratch from blank applications. So there are lots of samples are available in the Power App. If you don't want to design everything from the start, you want to start something that pre-built, and you just start modifying that particular template on a stand-up point, and then you have a complete flexibility to share your app. You can easily share your app with your colleagues inside your organization, and you can share your data, and it allows you to do all CRUD operations. So you can create a new app and share inside your colleagues, with your groups, and everybody. Creating an app is very simple in Power Apps. You can create an app on two different platforms, or you can two different areas. One is called Microsoft Desktop Application. This you can at the moment you can see. Okay, let me just try to go in the web. Okay. Here, this is basically you can say the web version of a Power App. When you log into your Office 365 account, you can find this thing under your app launcher. Once you click on it, you'll come under this one, but you need to activate this Power App. By default, is now activated because it's in a developer preview and is a public preview now. So you can use this Power App. Currently, there's the pricing and the capabilities Microsoft already mentioned on their site. going to stay and discuss later on. So this is the first screen you will see when you click on the Power Apps. Then you can go to My Apps section. Here you can find all of the apps that you installed inside from your, or somebody shared with you inside your organization. And like that, you have some more options below that one. You have option the connections. These are all of the connections that all you already created in the past that I shared with you. This is the gateway. The gateway is basically allow you to connect your data source, the on-premises data sources with your cloud service. So if you have any sort of data source on your desktop or somewhere on your server, on your on-premises, such as like a SharePoint or SQL Server, so you can connect this data by using a gateway, a Power App gateway, and connect those data and synchronize those data always with the Power Apps. And this is in the bottom, you can see the notification panel, all the notifications that are generated by the Power Apps, you can just find it here. The entity, this is a new thing that in my Power App introduced last month. It's called Common Data Module. It allows you to create your online database with the structure and very secure data sets, and it has some pre-built fields or entities, you can call it, and let me click on, and it allows you to use these fields or create your own fields to create your own database and create the app on top of it. So you don't need to store somewhere else. You just use this one, and you can see the complete classification of this common data model. So once you start creating an app with this model, is automatically understand all the basics, what you require and not required. You can modify all of those fields in the Excel. They have a built-in app for that, especially. And the third option, because if you know from a top, it's a flow. Basically, flow is something that we created. It comes with the Power App. It's the kind of workflow stuff that allow you to create a small business level logics, and those business logic can be interact with your Power App. So any kind of workflow stuff, you can use it here. So let me go back to my presentation again. So I'll show you that there are various options, and later on we'll create one app, and I'll show you all the steps that you need to know how to create your first app. You can also create an app from existing templates, so you don't need to start from scratch. So you can use existing templates to create a new tab. So the advantage of those existing templates, or you can create your own template as well, but you don't need to do stuff again and again. So there's a pre-built template that provided by Microsoft. You can use this template to create your own app, but you don't need to do all the plumbing stuff. So lots of stuff, the image filtering and image fitting and the content color theme will be there. Second, Power Apps is come with lots of good stuff. So there are lots of similarities between Power App and a Power BI. The reason behind that, the same team or similar team is working on those reports. So they're focused to give you something very unified, or things that you are already familiar with. So the things that we call the functions in Power Apps, you can also find this thing in an Excel and also in Power BI. So it allows you to use some functions, some DX functions, to manipulate data or calculate data, or do some kind of advanced stuff with your data on your screens and on your content, on your field types. In my screen, you can see the example that I'm using a sum function, and this sum function can be linked to any text box. And later on, I'll show you a demo for this. Power App comes with a wide range of by default connections. So you can connect your all favorite services that include Dropbox, Dynamics, Outlook, MailChimp, SQL Server, Azure, SharePoint Online, SharePoint on-premises, and Salesforce. So there are lots of connections that are coming up, and ISVs are building their third-party connections. And you can also create your custom SharePoint connections. So you can also connect your SQL Server on-premises and SharePoint on-premises lists by using a gateway, the Power Apps. So it's a very simple method. You go to the Power App, download the gateway, provide the authentication, and type the key and configure it. So by using this gateway, you can connect your SharePoint Online and synchronize the data with your Power Apps, and you get same technique goes with the SQL Server. So you can see the both screenshots in my slide. If you guys have any question at any point, please feel free to ask. Power App also allow developers to convert or create a new APIs or new applications. If you have already an application that built in ASP.NET and you want to convert this thing or accessible in a Power App, so you don't need to do completing again. You don't need to write in a complete script or complete business logic again. Power App completely support REST and a different authentication and authorization processes. For the authentication, 2.0 auth is supported in a Power App. It comes lots of custom pre-built connectors like Azure Active Directory, Box, Facebook, Google, Instagram, OneDrive, Salesforce, and Yammer, Slack. But later on, a custom support will be available that you can create your own authentication app service, or you can connect with your custom authentication service. Currently, this feature is not available. Power App also supports the Swagger and the Azure function that allow you to interact with the app and the API. Power App can be hosted on different cloud platform and hostings that also just include Azure Cloud, Microsoft Azure Functions, Google Cloud Platform, Kudu, and specifically, and it also interacts with other APIs like a Slack API or Uber Developer API. So these things that are already available. Little bit about the licensing and the pricing, how the Power App comes. As initially I explained that this product have a similar similarities with the Power BI. So the license policy is also quite similar, if you can find. So there are three types of license. One is a free license for first one, unlimited app creation and use 2 cloud data sources per user, and unlimited app creation, and you can go and switch one. So, but if you have any cloud source data source, such as like a SharePoint Online or Azure Online, so you are allowed to create only 2 data sources. If you connect more than 2 data sources, you're not allowed to use it. Then you have to go for the standard one. The standard one, the perfect for the team that's working with the SaaS tools, especially the online services, Dynamics Online or Dropbox or Office 365. So it allows you to create unlimited creation connections and unlimited data source connections. And if you are looking for something really extended and you want a complete governance and IT access or and management over your app and your Power Apps, so you have to go through the enterprise license, the biggest license we can say in this pool, and it allows you to connect the SQL Server and all sort of premises and on-premises or cloud data sources unlimitedly. It also allows you to create an app service environment that you can dedicatedly infrastructure in Azure hosted, so you can manage your custom APIs or your API, all the APIs and connections that manage your apps, and uptime SLA, API management, governance, control, and access and reporting. So if you want a really deep stuff or a larger organization, you want to complete access over the governance and compliance and manage a complete access of your Power BI and your apps and your data. So this is the license that you have to look into it. Later on, the more details will be revealed by Microsoft about the licensing, as it is in a preview, more public preview mode. So I hope someone can come in a public release so we can find more about the licensing. There are a couple of resources. Let's jump into them. Okay, now you can see one demo app on my screen, and you can see I'm scrolling. So let's start with something that some good news that come up in the SharePoint. Well, last 2 weeks ago, Microsoft announced SharePoint Modern List and User Experience and integration with Power App and a Power Flow or Logic Flow. So you can see this is a new list experience inside your SharePoint. This is, I'm currently under the SharePoint Office that's hosted under Office 365 tenant. And I just add this particular query string to enable this experience, because this is in preview mode at the moment. And you can see here's an icon of a Power App. There's a come by default in every list. So once you click here, it will give you this pop-up and allow you to create your new app. Anything you tap or click here, it will open a new window and allow you to create a new app from scratch. So let's create something in a contact. Okay, and let me go through over this one, how we done it with a SharePoint. Okay, hold on a second. Well, I don't know why it's not clicking. Give me a second, please. Okay. Okay, here we are again. So this is Power App Studio that is installed on your desktop. Once you go to your Power App, and on the right hand side there's a one download icon. You click on it, this icon, so you will find all of the available downloads that are related to Power Apps. So currently you can see you can download or install Power App on your mobile devices, or you can also install to create and edit Power Apps. If you're using an Android device or iPhone device, so you can only view or use Power Apps, but you can modify all the data and all the content inside the Power App, inside your iPhone, with your iPhone and with your Android devices or other devices. But if you're using a Windows platform, so you can install a Power App Studio that allow you to use apps and also create and modify apps. To create and modify apps, you have two options. Either you create inside your browser. You can create this thing on a browser. In a moment I'll show you. And or you can see this one here. I want to show the options. Okay, all apps. So you can create your apps here, or you have a predefined template, so you click on one template and start modifying it, or you can start for the first, you can create a new apps, of course. Let's go to Power App Studio. This is a Power App Studio. It's a similar application just like Power BI Desktop. So here, if the first thing that you will notice once you open it, so in a new section you have a couple of options on the left side. Here you can manage your app settings, saves, and anything that you want to know. And here, if you want to start a new app, so you have an option to choose your data connection first. So you have lots of connections by default here. Once I click on the connections, you can see, in fact, click on connections. So I will find my all existing connections that is there. So previously I used SharePoint, so you can see my SharePoint connection is there. I also use common data model, so I can find my common data model, so I don't need to type it again. And same as like that, I have, if I add something new, so I can just refresh it here. It's a little bit slow, I don't know why, but it is. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so let's connect this thing with a SharePoint. So I just click on a SharePoint and it will take a second to connect. Still taking a little slow. Yeah, so you can see all of the lists, all the sites that's available inside my SharePoint Kanban. I can see it here. So I just click Evolution Demo that I created today just for this presentation. So I'm sorry about the internet connections, a little slow here. And okay. So here my I don't know where I just lost this, so I'm going to just repeat a little faster than what I said before. So this is basically a Power App application in a browser, and a second application that you can download from here. It's called a Power App Studio. That basically a Windows application or Windows desktop application. So when you open this application, something look like that. So you can install all of the apps that are shared or it's available inside your organization. So you can see there are lots of apps that shared in my organization, but I cannot edit it because I did not download it or I'm not administrator, or I can also invite other people to use this app. This is a particular app that I created with my SharePoint list, and I am allowed to edit this app because I'm the author of this app. So I just click on this app quickly and just see how it look alike. So I have a one. I will show you the where the data is coming from, so to give you a better idea. This is new SharePoint experience with the SharePoint. Now this is SharePoint list. So I'm going to do the company options. I go to company. I can see. Okay, this is the company. So this is a particular list that I'm trying to connect with the Power App, and here you can. So in this list, basically, I have some basic information about the company, which type of company is, what the basic contact information and logo and other stuff. And I want to create this thing. I want to make this information available across user whenever they want to use this or access the company's information, or the company's database. They can easily surf or search data on their mobile devices. So I create this particular application, and it have a complete basic tag version. You can see. You can scroll down. It's really looking quite nice. I have a name and phone number on the stuff. So, and I can search, like if I type evolution, so it gives me the automatic search. So this is automatically created. And if I need more information, I click on that particular tab, and here you can see all the remaining fields. I can modify everything here if I want. I click on modify, and now it become a modifiable. So like say the ending date is, I'm going to change the ending date to 24 and save, and I click on save. So evolution ending date is 24 now. So this is the experience that I'm using in a Power App in a Windows application inside my desktop. This is a desktop application. I can use the same app if I go to my Power App option here, screen. I'll go to the screen, and first I'll just refresh and show you that data is already, the data has been changed. So I just click on Evolution Technologies. I save this thing on my mobile app or on my SharePoint app list, and it's going to reflect on my Power App. And if I change anything in the Power App, it automatically going to reflect inside my SharePoint. So you can see here the ending date is changed here. This is a different one. Now the ending date is changed. So this is how Power App going to work, and let's see how we can just go more deep dive in it. Unfortunately, it's just a bit slow here. Okay, so I just click escape key on a desktop to go back in a editable mode or view mode in this application. If I click on this edit option and this small pencil, it allows me to modify this app, and also I can create from scratch if I want. But my internet connection is a little slow, so what I'm trying just to avoid to create a new one. So whenever you modify any app, it will save on your desktop with the extension of MS app. So you can give any name you want. I just say app demo. So in a moment, it will save the template and then allow me to modify if I want. And then later on, I can share with my other colleagues with the different names, and I can create another app. So I can create an app from another app. So somebody already done some good stuff on an app, so I can play with it. Here I'm inside my Power Apps. So once I connect it with my SharePoint list, the thing what I'll see, it's something like that. I can start my any screen from scratch. I can add a new screens. I can add a new layouts. So once you connect with your SharePoint list, so basically these are the three basic screens you're going to see. The detail view, it's an edit view. So if I don't want to modify this particular thing, or I want a specific file from it, or I want a drop-down list, the type of companies that involve, so I can just change the stuff from here. So this is called a lookup field that's previously not available in Power App. Microsoft made it available just a few days back. So as I say, I want a value rather than just an ID. So I just click here, and you can see here, rather than previously showing the complete content type, now just showing the exact value that coming from the dropdown. So previously, the lookup field was not available in with the Power Apps and SharePoint, but now it allows you to just connect with your lookup field. So I just select another field, and I want to modify that one. So this is an industry field. I'm going to scroll down. This is a panel where I can customize a connection between my app and the Power App. So if I want to modify anything here or anything like this, so I can just connect this. Okay. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. Reload it. Okay. So here you can see I changed a couple of stuff here, and if I want to just see how this look alike, so I'm just click on this small play icon here. It's like a preview. It's not going to publish. It just give you the preview, so you can see that how your stuff is looking like. So I can see that now my shareholder is coming perfectly fine because previous is not coming. So now I can just use this one for my to publish. Let's see how we can connect a SharePoint list with a Power Apps, and how we can create a new how we can create a new app with the SharePoint data. So here I go in the file section and click on a new. Once I click on a new, I will see the all available options. So I can connect with the common data, OneDrive, online, Dynamics, and Salesforce. So I click on a full layout and click on SharePoint, and I will select from the pre-configured connections, or if I want a new connection, I can click on new connection. It will give me the complete list of available services that I can connect with it, or a custom list. So I just click here, and I'm going to just connect this list. So once again, you can see complete list of SharePoint stuff sites, and I say I want to add share companies again. Let's see, it sounds more appropriate for me. Don't save. It's a previous app that I opened, so I decided I don't want to save the previous one. So I just click on it, say connect, and so what we're going to do is going to create an app and creating a by default template where according to the data type they're going to place the fields and everything, and you'll see in a moment. It will be seen in a moment. It will take a little time, like 5 to 10 seconds, and you can see in a moment. Then I'm going to showcase you how you can connect your custom API with the Power Apps. So let's give it 5 to 10 seconds. I hope so it will be come back. This internet speed is not that good here. In the meantime, it's loading. Everything is loading super slow. I don't know what happens. Previously it was pretty much fine. Let's refresh again if we can get it. Just give me a second. Let me see that if its loading is completed or not.
Hi Usama, can you hear me? We seem to have lost your sound, Usama. Oh,
Uh, yeah, that's it. I'm here.
Okay,
Hello.
great. Yeah, take it away.
Okay, so it will take like a few seconds, depend on your internet speed. At the moment, my internet speed is not as that good as it should be, and in a moment you will see it will create a three screen, screen 1, 2, and 3. The added screen, the same screen that you're going to use for the stuff, and it allow you to connect your power app. So here you have an app. First, the view, the basic view that allow you to just scroll your items, and here you can see the image is coming, but the image is not coming fine. But if you try to select item below, it's only for the preview. If you cannot select them, if you want to modify the item, so you need to select the first item because that's a template. So you select this item and you go to the image property. I don't know what's happening here. Go to the image property, sorry, and inside the image property, you can find a different stuff, a layout and an image position, and it gives me the different position types that image comes. So I say I want fit. I want to fit to that frame. That my complete logo, I can see the complete logo. So once I click on this fit, so you can see all of the logos that automatically fit. And I say, okay, that's fine, that's good. But I say I want to add some kind of new function here, a new control here. So I can go to insert, use the text box, and here I have a text box. So I just make it a small one. Okay, I don't know why I click on. Okay, it's difficult to just move it away, something like that, because this text box is this one is office ID. This one is okay. This layout is very restricted. So this layout is restricted. Let's add another screen. So let me add one more screen. Go to insert, and I can add a new screen. I add a new screen. Once I click on a new screen, so it's allowed to add new tabs or connect with my data or anything I want to. So I just select first text box, click on the text, and I say that let's do sum 24, 12 plus 12. So it should show 12, 24 here. So you can see how you can play with the functions, and I can just add another text box. So if I want to just create some kind of calculation based on other text box, so I can do this thing as well. So I just come on this text, I select this text box, go to the function tab, and just let me see the first text box name, text box 1, text box 2, and text box 3. So I say sum again, text box 1 plus 2. So what value will be coming here? So let's say text box 2, not 21, 2. Okay, text box 2, selected, 26. So you can see I can create a calculation, I can create lots of stuff with these functions. So these are very useful functions, and you can also see how we can configure different controls with it. If I have a data, if I want to attach any kind of data or the data source with it, I click on data source, and then here I have data. So anything that I want to connect it for, suppose I want to show here some field, something stuff from companies. So say just let add some thing from okay, so remove this one, and I'm going to want to show a list of companies here by default, not from SharePoint by default. That's why I go on an insert section, go in a gallery, select a visual, and I just select vertical. So I don't know why I selected, but I selected. So here is a sample, and here I'm going to say a company. So let's say the companies. So I bind the companies automatically. So you can see a number of fields that automatically come up here. I say telephone number, company name. I want to show a company name. Company name is this one, company phone number, and stuff like that, or company other address. So I can modify field, or I can just add more items and connect with it. So it depends how I want to showcase the data, how I want to apply the data. If I just click here, so I want to preview, so I can see the data here that coming from evolution. So here I'll show you that how you can create your own screens and you can redirect it. And once you're done with your complete theming or design, you can play with a couple of themes here. You can see here there's a themes option. So I said I want a black, aqua black. It's too slow. I don't know why it's slow. Do this very fast. I think so my machine is very slow. Okay, now you can see change the themes, and I say okay, I'm fine with it. Now I want to save this thing. I want to save this app. I want to share it with my other people, or so I click on a save. So it comes first of all in app settings, so I have to select the logo. I can select icon, color, and the orientation. It will be a vertical application or a horizontal, as a portrait or landscape. So landscape means that you have to tilt down your mobile phone and like that. So as you know, it's a portrait application. Then I click on save. It will going to ask me two things. You want to save this thing on your computer, or you want to save this thing on a cloud. So if I want to save this thing on a cloud, I just want to select a cloud, and I can see all of the one existing application. I can give a new name to this app, Live Demo SP. And there's an option that asks me that allow access to other users in your organization, so they can also access my app. I say, okay, I want to share it. I click on a save option. So once it will save, it will become up like something that once we have here, something like this one that we have here already. I don't know why it's not working. Let's close this one. So you can see this notification is successfully saved. So now if I go to my mobile device, I want to show you that my mobile device, do they have this one? Okay, and now I'm going to connect this thing with my mobile device to show you how can we quickly, it's going to showcase on my mobile phone. So you see, I create an app, I share it very simply, very fast, and now I will show you how you can use, how end user will be receive a notification, or they can use this app on Android device. So I'm going to connect TeamViewer with my Android device, and okay, it's not there. So I go to remote access, start now, started. Okay, Power Apps. I think the screen will become in a moment. So I click Power Apps. So this is an Android app. Basically, I'm accessing my Android phone that, and I create one app with connected my SharePoint data, and I share across devices. So I'm trying to showcase this thing, that how you will see this app on your mobile device. So you can see here's a small icon here. So these are all of the apps. These are the apps you're going to see in a mobile phone. It's available inside my organization. I can access them. So these are small three icons, dots here. I click on that dot. It allows me to update or install or use. So I click on open. So once I click this one on open, so it will going to open the app in a moment. I hope so. So you can see the screen that the one icon that I previously selected is come up here, MVP demo app, and in a second we will see that the data. Oops, so it's internet is a little slow. I'm hoping it to reopen it. Yes, it's open now. So you can see it's a very nice experience here in our SharePoint list. Now it's retrieving the data. It's already open. So you have a two sort options. So you can, because the list, so you allow you to ascending, descending is sorted, and you want to click on new one. Search is working. If I click on search here on my mobile phone, evolution. So you can see the search is perfectly working in my Android phone. And if I click on this, the first company, to see the detail view, so I can see the detail. If I want to add this one, so give me the added capabilities, I can add it, and you can see complete the stuff here. So it's perfectly working fine. And I go back to the app, and you can see that's stuff. If I click on back, so I'll back on the main screen with my all apps are here, and I can pin these apps, or this is a new app that we downloaded first review. And if I click on the tab, I have option to detail to see what's information in it, install, or I can share with my colleagues. So I click on the share option, and I can share anybody inside my organization, and I can select either the user can modify this thing, or either the user cannot modify my app, or they can use it or they cannot use it, or they can use and share this app. So I can restrict in 3 levels. So currently you can see this app is can be used and can be shared. So just like that. And I can type that. It's a similar screen that we see in a usual Microsoft sharing concept. So, and I come back. So this is a little preview of my Android app, how it's going to showcase on my Android device once I create an app on Power App. Now I'm going to showcase that how I can connect my custom data with my SharePoint. Lots of time we have lots of custom stuff inside our organization, or we have lots of business logic that we create some kind of SharePoint app, or might be created sometime MVC app or something on PHP. So, and we don't want to create this app, but we want to use complete logic and everything inside that. Just want to use a front end as for the mobile career, so the mobile access of my data, of my application across devices for the Power Apps. So how I'm going to do this thing? So what I done, I created a very simple Virtual Studio code. I created one simple web API application. How I created, I go in a Visual Studio, create a new project, click on MVC, and select I select the IMT option and click on Web API. This is what I created. So once I created, let me open the recent one that I created. Okay. And then I added 2 things in this solution. I did not add many things here. I just added 2 things here. One is a Swagger API, the Swagger framework that allows me to just interact with my API and design an API. So I go to the manage Git packets and type Swagger here and just install Swagger. So it's allowing me to install Swagger here. And then I add a one API controller. You can see this here, one API controller. And in this API controller, I have one get function, and that is allies with the Swagger operation, the Swagger directives, the get can be. So whenever anybody accesses API, you will see what URL/get API. So we're going to access this property. So when anybody accesses from the URL and try to access this function, so it will return the list of employees. And the list of employees, I just add some static data here. This data will reside inside the memory. I can use the entity framework or any other framework to do a CRUD operation or anything to access that. This is only for the demo purpose. So I just created some static data. And then I deploy this thing to Azure. I just right click here, I go to the publish setting. I can also attach lots of authentication stuff in it and lots of authorization stuff, but at the moment I try to make it simple as possible. So I just create a Azure web app, click on Azure web app and provide the connection, select the release date and just publish it. Once I publish it, what I get it, I'll show you. So this is hosted. You can see this. It has been hosted here. You can see under my domain demo power apps on Azure.net and a Swagger/Swagger. So I can see that my API is coming employee, and employee API I can see the employee, and also I have an option. So let's click on try. So you can see that once I get access all the stuff, I get this. So I use this thing and create a Swagger file. I create a Swagger file, and now I want to create a new app with this particular connection. So first of all, if you create a new separate custom API and you want to connect this thing with your with your Power Apps, so you need to create first a custom connection before creating an app. So you go to the connections, you click on a connection, and you will see two tabs under connection. Tab number one is standard connections that come by default that share Power Apps. You can see the wide list of services that are attached, and custom that you want to add it. So you can see this is the one I added a few minutes before. I'm going to showcase you again what is inside. So once you click on add a new custom connection, it allows you to give its name and the API definition. This is Swagger API file, the JSON file. This is, you can see here, I attached this one here, and it got generated from a Swagger. And the one icon and description. So once you click on it, next, so it will create up one custom connection, and this connection will something look like that. And you can see this is all the standard connection. This is the only one connection which is you can say a custom connection. It's not the normal connection. Then I'll go to my desktop application of the editor. I can also add it in a browser, but I prefer to use in my desktop application. So I say I want to use a blank app, and I click on a phone layout. So I click on a phone layout to create a new app. So under the create an app or create a new app option, I click on it. So it will give me a one simple blank canvas there where I can design my app or connect with my data sources. So I click on data source. So you can see all the lists, all of the connections that are available inside my subscription or inside my my login and my user that I created or created a connection. I can see here common data, SharePoint, and other stuff. So I click on this connection, and it automatically going to add here. And you will see this one connection has been added. Demo MVP has been added. So. But you cannot drag and drop something like that. So to show the data, how we can show the data, let's go inside the insert option and insert tab. In the insert tab, you go to the gallery option. Then you click on vertical visual. So you can use any other visuals. I'm just trying to showcase the simplest one and the easiest one that you can easily use. So I just set, and I just want to change the name. I just say get. Okay, so you can see from a Swagger API, it's automatically detect that it have one function. So that connection string over the data source name dot a function name. So I click on it, and if I have any function or any I want to pass any parameter, so I can pass any parameter, or I can take a value from other text box or any drop down. But currently I don't have anyone, so I just close the bracket and enter. So once I enter, so it will automatically going to deduct the value, and it should show me here. So I can see the first name, last name, and title. I say title should be first, title, and then I say the second field. I can add more fields inside if I have a more connection, and I say first name and last name. Then I just find it for fine. I click on a review. Okay, so you can see the data is here. So data is here that I created inside my application. So I just say, okay, I like the app. Now I want to save it. I go to similar exercise. I do the same thing again. Select the icon, publish, and save option. And here I say custom API, custom app, and click on save. It will, if you have a better internet connection, it's always processed very fast, because I'm on travel, so I do not have a great internet access, unfortunately. And but I'm trying my best to just showcase all the steps that can help you and you can understand the Power Apps. So it's very fast. It's saved. If I go to the browser, if I now go to the browser on my home screen, and I'm under my app section, so it should appear here, and then I go here. Okay, so I need to install this app, so I click on all apps. So live demo apps should come in a moment. It should come because I create this app, so it should have to come. Okay, let's go here to the campaign. So now I'm going to click on new and open. I already created this thing saved in the cloud, so demo app is here. I can open this app, and in a moment it will begin to save. And it was the app name. This is refreshing because it's in a cloud, so it will take a little time to come down. Custom app. Here, as you can see, here you can see the custom app option. I can click here. Once I click here, it allows me to download this app, and all of the downloaded apps I can use it. Same thing on Android. Android one icon will be appear there, and I can just use this thing. So it say, okay, this is the app. You want to allow this service to use your account? I say yes, I will allow that one. This will take a second. Okay. In the meantime, I'll just make a connection with my Android phone again to show you how this data is going to be there. You can also use Microsoft Azure Functions using their webhook technology or the new stuff in the Azure Functions. And here are my apps there. So by using REST API. So all of your existing application can be accessible on across devices with the great UX and user experience and all the goodness of the Power Apps. On all you need just a simple little plumbing. You can see all this data has come here. It's hosted inside my app, so I can see this data. So if I want to use this thing, if I create edit options and anything I want to do it, I can still do it. But for the demo purpose, I just make it simple and as much as possible. So I click on exit. That if I want to access more apps, so, and I'll see how it looks like on my Android device. So that connected again. Let me connect again. Just a moment. Actually, my internet is not that good, so I'm not sure that I'm connected or not. This is connected. So let me show you in the meantime that about the gateway. So once you install the gateway, apps. Okay, I'm not sure. It's not showing here. So once you have a gateway, so I'll just give you some screenshots for the fast track because I know that that's not going to be some problem here. So it's very simple. You can configure a gateway directly. So once you install a gateway, it will ask you the gateway name, and it asks you to the recovery key and configure options. Once you click on it, it asks you for your username, password of the tenant, and you can configure and close OK. And the rest will be managed by this gateway automatically to synchronize the data sets. Once you have this connection with your data sets and save here, automatically when you go inside your gateway in your web application or your desktop editor, you will find this gateway. Once I connect this thing, I can see all of my data sources that's available inside on-premises. I can connect it with my all data will be synchronized if I connect it with the on-premises data set or any Excel file or anything that is on-premises. I can create a, you can see the status of my gateway is live and which users can access. I'm the only admin. I can add more users to access my data, and I have a complete control. So here you can see all the notifications are coming here. I hope so it's come up. In the meantime, let's see, app is there. Yes, app is there. So this is all about the Power App, and I hope I'll give you the complete deep dive overview of Power App, how you can use it, Power App, how you can connect this Power App with your on-premises and online cloud data sources, including SharePoint, Office 365, Dynamics, and MailChimp, and other services. And also you can use or combine SharePoint and all other data sources or other applications with the custom API support in a Power App to connect data with your SharePoint, with your Power Apps. If you have any question, I'd love to answer. Please let me know.
Thanks, Usama. Yeah, we have a few questions here for you, and we'll run through them quickly. We're a little bit over time. The first question is, I can't find Power Apps in my Office 365 license. Can you explain how to get that?
How to get that? Okay. If you, first of all, if you have Office 365 admin access, so you go to the admin section and allow you to the license, and then you can get the Power Apps. And if you just follow my Twitter, so end of my presentation, I'm going to share one link where you can find step-by-step how to get Power App under your Office 365 tenant. Currently, Power App is in preview mode, so it's free. So you can directly access. Currently, I'm also trying to find this because my internet is very slow, so I'm not sure I can able to showcase you here or not. But the step-by-step tutorial I'm going to share on my Twitter. So you have to go to your admin section inside the license, and you have to allow yourself or any user to use the Power Apps.
Perfect. Next question is how to activate Power Apps in Office 365. This user says we have Office 365 Enterprise E3.
It's the same thing because if he cannot find an app because it's not installed, so it's the same. Basically, both questions are same. He cannot find a Power App because it's not a license has been assigned. So you go to your Power App admin, and you will find it. You can see this admin center, all this admin center, and you click on the admin center, and then you can just find all the Power App stuff here, and you can assign the license to the user.
Okay.
So you go to the license section and leave it.
Okay, and the next question is, how do I pull employee data through Office 365 users?
How
I think it might be in relation to your demo. Yeah, they were asking, how do I pull employee data through Office 365 users?
Okay, you say you want to pull all employees in a list or in a Power App?
I'm not 100% sure. That's the question that I've posed.
Okay, I just answered that. Okay, one more thing. If any question left here I cannot able to answer clearly, or you want a mode configuration details, so please ask me on Twitter. This is my Twitter handler. I'm going to type it here in the meantime, and you can see this is my Twitter handler. Usama Wahab Khan. So USAMAWAHABKHAN Khan. So okay, you can just post SharePoint list, and all the lists you can just connect with it, and you can directly pull it. And by using some SQL Server functions, DX function, you can also pull all data. You can share inside your organization. So once you connect your app with the Power App and they publish in the Power App, it asks you whom you want to share. You want to share with your inside your organization, and users are allowed to modify or use this app, or only they can see this app, or they cannot see even in fact. So you can give this all permission there.
Okay, that's great. Usama, thank you so much for your time today, and even with the technical difficulties, it was still a great presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I hope so. If you could have better internet, and hope so next time try to improve internet connection, and give you much more better demo and all of good business. And thank you everyone for coming out for the webinar, and I hope so you like it. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me on my Twitter handler. And thank you guys. Have a good day.
Thanks. Thank you, Osama. Okay, everybody, so that's it for today. Just bear with me here for one moment. Okay, so for more top quality training from the world's best speakers, look no further than Vienna for the European SharePoint Conference. See sharepointeurope.com for full details. Also, attend any webinar in September and your name will be entered into a draw to win a 3-day ticket to the European SharePoint Conference in Vienna. That's it for now. Thank you and goodbye.